Hello and welcome to a random playthrough of Conquest of Elysium 5. Now a quick disclosure before we get started here, I already had a couple of playthroughs of this out on YouTube, but since making those I've acquired another 160 or so hours of experience in the game. And I figured I'm just deleting those, I'm redoing this with a bit more experience, you know. And let's see what comes of it. We're gonna go with map size large. I feel like anything larger than that for YouTube playthrough is just simply too large. Society random, so we can get either one of these. We're gonna go with advanced options, battle reports turned on, that way you don't necessarily have to watch battles, but you can just watch the result. And we're gonna go with wilder, which I'll just read the text on the bottom here, says that most independents will be significantly boosted in numbers. It will be more difficult to obtain and keep resources. This setting might be suitable for a team of players that want more challenge from the independent forces. Now I checked this once, checked it out, and I figured, yeah, I'll stick with this. Now we're gonna add one more opponent here, so we have 7 on this large map, and we're gonna just up the difficulty on all the AIs to count. Jester here gives no bonuses to the AI, and count gives 100% bonus to the AI's income. Possibly something else, I'm not 100% sure, but I know for sure that at least. So, I just want to say real quick that in this playthrough I'm going to be reading through a few things. I'll try not to delve too deep into details, but there's a few things I want to go through as we play along, and I will do so as we get to those things. First off, we're going to be playing with a Troll King. And I'm just going to read this lore, never actually read it, so let's see what it says. The Troll King is the most physically powerful warlord of all, capable of conquering entire towns on his own. His hide is very tough, making him almost immune to attacks from weaker beings like Hobergs or poorly armed humans. Should the Troll King be wounded, his powers of regeneration allow him to heal at an extraordinary rate during battles, just like his main companions, the Trolls. All Trolls have very keen noses and can detect stealthy units like brigands without trouble. The Troll King's mother is a very old and magically proficient crone. She and the goblin shamans under her tutelage can use fungi to perform magical rituals. She can also turn ordinary forests into troll forests, where the plants and trees themselves will attack anyone foolish enough to enter the woods. Those who die in the troll forest become animated by plants and tree roots, and these carrion beasts will wander about and kill anything that gets in the way. So, 2 abilities. The Troll King is very tough, as stated. He has regeneration and thick skin, aka loss of armor. The Troll King's mother, shamans and witch doctors collect fungi. And you need these in your team, so to say. You need these on the map to be able to collect fungi. You start with only the Troll King, and he doesn't use fungi for anything. So when you only have him, you cannot claim forests and swamps and fairy circles to get the fungi. You need to have someone that can actually utilize the fungi before you can do that. Fungi can be used for magical rituals. Humans recruited at special locations cost twice the gold. Ancient forests can be used as citadels. Should be an S after the A here. There's a lot of these minor typos in this game. And, well, I mean, arguably... Let's see if I can go back and show that real quick. Start a new game. Like, for instance, on Wilder here. It says, it will be more difficult to obtain and keep resources. Karma at this setting might be suitable. Should be a, punctuation mark or whatever. Shouldn't be a comma down here. Just makes the sentence very convoluted. I think, in my opinion. I could be, like, grammatically wrong on that, but it just doesn't feel entirely, yeah, optimal. But yeah, we're taking the Troll King, and if we played multiplayer against other people, this would be a perfect color to pick, which is grey, because then you have the same color as the independent forces, and you might confuse somebody at some point. And I'm quickly gonna just pick some new colors here for the teams, because honestly, the base colors are always the same, and it just gives you a little bit more replayability if you have some other colors to play around with than just like the base ones that are always there. So this looks a bit different. It's a bit more on the replayable side. Like it has literally no effect on the game, but a little bit more variety, even if it is just colors. I think it's a good thing. That being said, let's get to it. We're going to call this guy Torak. From the top of my head, that's what the Troll King's name shall be. So let's see what Torak is capable of. Alright, we can buy 15 spearmen for 50 gold, but we only have 20 gold, so we cannot do that. Now, let's see what we got around us here. We got a coal mine with 2 pale ones and 5 pale one soldiers. That's not a problem. We got 10 kobolds here and a kobold chief. Also, for the Troll King, certainly not a problem. Before we move on, we're going to go through the Troll King, his abilities, sir. He's got 110 hit points, 3 armor, which on its own, that's pretty decent, right? And he's got a great club that does 1 to 32 sweep attack, meaning that if he overkills someone in melee and someone else close to him in melee, the damage will shift over, the remaining damage will shift over to another melee target. And you might kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Anyway, we're giant sized. Now, giant size means that obviously you're huge as hell. It also means that you don't use as much action points moving around the map. For instance, if you step onto a mountain, that's 2 action points instead of 3, as it is for most creatures, well, all creatures pretty much that aren't giant sized or flying or floating or got something else going on for them. Stepping onto a forest costs 1 instead of 2, hills 1 instead of 2, etc. You just basically reduce the AP cost of all terrain that you walk onto by 1 to a minimum of 1. He's got a cute sensor so you can see stealthy units, which is good. He's got fire vulnerability 50, which means he takes a lot more damage from fire, which is not good. So try to stay away from that with your trolls as much as you can. Sometimes you gotta go for it, sometimes it's not that big of a risk to go for it. But if someone lights the Troll King on fire, he's not gonna have a good time. Let's just leave it at that. So he's got regeneration 5. Meaning he will heal roughly 5% of his hit points each combat round until it is killed. Battle afflictions are also healed, but they will take at least 1 month to heal. Now, the thing is, so you can get afflictions, like you heal 6 hit points per turn with this guy in combat. Outside of combat, you heal at lightning speed. Like this guy, he's just fine to go. He was almost beaten to death. Yeah, he's ready to go again right after, pretty much. And as stated, regeneration will remove afflictions like deceased, for instance, which is very good that it removes. But more importantly, just normal, or not necessarily more importantly, but more like commonly, the normal afflictions like chest wound, feeble-minded, etc. From my experience, it seems they will remove, or the regeneration will remove 1 of those per month. So you won't have to deal with them for too long, luckily. Now, in your troll pit where you start out, you start with obviously the Troll King, and you start with 10 goblins, which have 2 hit points, no armor, and does 1 to 2 damage, and are absolutely, utterly trash. So we're not going to be using them. Just going to be leaving them here for defense, because if I go attach them to the Troll King, then they're just going to die, and the Troll King's going to win, regardless of them being there or not, so it's just... why bother? Let's not lose these goblins. Let's have them in defensive mode on our troll pit. We also have the Shadow Tree, which is stationary and immobile. Also fire vulnerability, because of course. Does 1 to 4 damage twice per turn if someone gets the melee on it. So I mean, it's can defend against like critters that doesn't have range attacks. But that being said, so, let's get to it there. Well, we got this, 2 coal mines right there that we can probably just take, really. I'm gonna scout a little bit, though, so we don't waste our action points. Okay, well, we're at the edge of the map, at least, so for 3, like, well, that's, what is this, 270 degrees or something? We do not really have to worry that much about. Either way, which one do we go for first? I think we just take out the kobolds, to be honest. And, let's see how it goes. Surprise, surprise, we most likely won. And we did. Yeah, he beat down those guys with no problem whatsoever. Now, the troll, he can, or the Troll King, he can recruit goblins and ogres, always. But below it, every turn will pop up some other types of units you can record specifically that turn. And aren't always available for recording. Now, recruiting, I meant, my bad. Now, the troll is a good recruitment option, but he does cost 20 iron, and we'll get to when we get to it, basically. So gonna move down here, scout a little bit before I attack also the pale ones over here and take the second coal mine. Which is actually us off to a pretty good start right there. We already have some coal income. I'm not gonna pay too much attention to what we can buy, to be honest, at the moment, because I want to save up the money for like bigger units, like more large ass fuck type units. Now, either way, we got winter creeping in here, or snow creeping in as we are now at autumn. We got a coastal hamlet and an iron mine. I think we start with the iron mine just so we can get some more iron going. So we could be able to afford some trolls eventually here. I love how they took the arbalests took up position on the mountain here and are now absolutely quite useless. But it did put off quite a fight though. And yeah, so hill giant and such, that's pretty much what we're saving for her. Like these units, for instance, got siege weaponry and such, which is good. 1 to 37 sweep damage. It's not average generation, but it's giant size, so you can walk around with our Troll King. Forest Trolls I'm not really that keen on. They have regeneration, but they only have 32 hit points, so the regeneration isn't going to be that strong. Which is kind of an issue. It's like probably just 1 hit point, maybe 2 on a good day. But I think like just 1. It's nah. I'm kind of steering clear of those, to be honest. We're just going to scout down here. Then we're going to take this coastal hamlet as well. And we're going to see if there's anything over here. I feel like this is kind of a dead end position. But if it is though, it is good to know that it is. Because then we don't have to worry about it that much. So as you see, the trolls sometimes like to just destroy buildings instead of destroying the people that are fighting him. Don't ask me why. Just a troll thing to do, I suppose. Okay, so it looks like it goes a bit further down here. We'll take on these giant mantises. Oh, singular, just this giant mantis, I suppose. And, okay, there's some more income potential here. Got this coastal hamlet, that's good. Currently, it's giving +1 gold since it's in snow, but hey, income is income. Oh, we got a coal mine guarded by white kobolds that are shock resistant, 1 armor, 2 hit points, 1 to 3 damage. And then this thing. 3 armor, 1 8 damage. Quite a bit of hit points. Nothing special with the attack, it's just an attack, no poison or anything. We got white kobold chief, doesn't have any magic. He flies though. We have a storm drake that does lightning breath with 5 bounces at a range of 2. So then the question I have is, and as I say, I have a lot of knowledge about this game now, but there's also a lot of stuff I'm not 100% on. Will this hit, because it doesn't say won't hit friendly units. There's a chance this will if I get into melee with these kobolds. He attacks with this. And then we'll bounce onto the kobolds and kill a few of those. Hopefully. This honestly looks like it could be a bit of an issue to take on. But I think we're gonna give it a go. I could regret this quite quickly, but let's hope I don't. We're just attacking and we're gonna see what happens. It should be a hard fought victory, but a victory nonetheless, so let's see. Yeah, well, yeah, he had the chain lightning jumps to his own units. That works for me, absolutely. And okay, it wasn't as hard fought as I imagined it might be. As you can see, the Troll King is quite powerful. If you're unlucky enough, unlucky enough to spawn right next to the Dwarf King as some other kind of class, and the Troll King, and he decides to attack you, that could be GG for you fairly quickly, to be honest, and that's just no fun. But what are you gonna do? Anyway, we're just gonna take this coal mine as well. It's good to have some coal income. Dwarfs and in particular the arbalests are putting up a decent fight here, but I mean, it's the Troll King. The Troll King does what he wants. He doesn't need to apply to or bend to the wills of laws of physics and reason or whatever. Troll Kings are Troll Kings. I'm just taking out these roam around and just walk into a coal mine and we have to go and recapture it, because honestly that's just quite annoying. So when I look at this, I'm thinking how many archers? 5, 10, 14. Right? I count that correctly? 6, 12, 16. Now I counted it correctly. Which honestly, we're fully recovered, right? Yeah, I think we're just gonna go and take this watchtower out. 16 archers? Pfft. Let's do it. Stop tickling the Troll King, you bastards. Then you know he's ticklish. Because he's pissed, he's gonna get him for that. Yeah, they stood. Wow, suddenly they just ramped up the damage output though. But yeah, if we look at our Troll King right now, we will see that he has some afflictions. But only one, because he already healed the other. So next month, or next turn, he will not be having that affliction. 23 winged monkeys, like 1 to 2 damage, sleep touch. Well, and then another monkey attacks and then the sleep is broken, so... It's not really a biggie. Actually, let's see if we can hire her. Force troll, regular troll. I'm gonna hire the regular troll just so we have it, because why not? We keep scouting a little bit in this. Okay, we're gonna take these hamlets first, and then we'll jump onto these winged monkeys. Just for some gold income now. What, was someone in there, or were we attacked by the brigands? You were attacked. Okay, well, good. Then we don't have to waste a turn attacking them. Okay, we got that. We got this. And we got Etten that we can hire. Which aren't the greatest, but they're not bad either. We can get a troll though. Let's just get a few trolls actually. As soon as we get a commander, we'll just send him out with the commander to do some of our bidding. Should probably save a little bit of gold for an actual commander though, but oh well. So I kind of want to just take the winged monkeys out here real quick first, as that is going to give me +2 gold income per turn, and then we can deal with the other stuff that's around here. Got a Shadow Glade there, we could capture that. I feel a bit naked information wise, not knowing what's to our west yet though. Yes, they're sleeping him and waking him up, and he's, you know, he's regenerating. He's got temporary insanity. I guess you would have if you fall asleep and wake up within 2 milliseconds all the damn time. But yeah, I mean, slowly but surely, he's just squashing these guys. One sleep, one attacks, that cancels the sleep, so, and then another sleeps, another one attacks, so we just have to be awake when it's our turn to attack, basically. But this seemingly is more of a struggle than I anticipated it would be. What's the other thing? How temporary insanity, debilitating wound. Temporary insanity is no bueno. We're just gonna have to hope that goes over, or is the one that gets removed. And is it? It is not. We cannot control Torek at the moment because he's insane. Unit will not move until the insanity passes. Well, so he's ineffective this one turn. That's fine. That's absolutely fine. Alright, so I'm probably not playing this Troll King optimally. I'm just playing it in the way I want to play it, and I'm having a good time with it. And sometimes having a good time in itself is winning. We got 3 trolls now. Can't wait to get them to a commander. I can chauffeur them around the map. He's still insane. How does he become not insane though? Because the temporary insanity got removed, so maybe next turn he's good to go. Yes, yes. Alright, so I'm gonna have to kill these roamers, so simply because I just don't want to deal with them. There's nothing in her, so we just take it. I don't want to deal with these capturing things and have to go back and retake them, so if we can eliminate the amount of roamers, and now at least this ancient forest here is not generating more roamers, so that's good. So what do we have available? Under the forest giant, we could have hired him as a commander, but we can't because we don't have enough gold. So let's save up some gold and stop buying trolls. We're gonna just take out these wolves here before they wander off, so we can't reach them within a span of a turn. We obviously slaughter them because they're wolves and we are the troll king, so anything else would be ridiculous. And we're gonna take out... Oh no, it's winter. Fuck, wasted a turn. Could have taken out the boss. I'm an idiot. I will make mistakes from time to time. It is just how it is. I think even the best players do. I guess there's just so much going on in this game. At some point you're gonna make an unoptimal decision or click the wrong button or something. We're not gonna get the forest trolls, but we are in fact gonna get 10 goblin archers down here. Just so that this right tower here is well protected against incursions and attacks. That being said, winter is over, so let's just keep moving along the forest here, and we will take on the village first, and then we'll deal with a bear later. Actually, a couple of bears here we need to deal with, but also a couple of villages, so hey ho. Now we can't afford anything right now, we got 49 gold, but this should bring us some more income. 6 bear, 15 bears. Yeah, sounds like a fair fight, let's do it. Not sure about these displacer beasts down here, but I don't think we have to fight them either necessarily unless we want to. Is this not gonna end very well, or? Right, a bit over a bit. Okay, we gotta be a bit more careful with the Troll King. You crush a few, like, mediocre type armies, just like skirmishing forces really, and then you're like, haha, I'm invulnerable, and then you come up against someone that spews fire at you or something like this, or you just overestimate your ability and you can quickly come to regret thinking that. But yeah, we're getting a good collection of trolls going here. Just I should probably stop buying them so I can afford a commander, but oh well. Displacer beasts. They attack 5 times per turn, have no armor, 28 hit points. Displaced, which is giving them some protection from certain things. Doesn't actually give you the values of the protection, but whatever. They're just guarding the rainbow over here, so we're gonna just go and crush these bears in here. Just take rid of everything roaming, so we do not have to worry about it. There we go, okay, there's 1 bear. Vimur, the Goblin Chieftain. Rank back, right, and the trolls will be in what rank? I'm not like preferring a Goblin Chieftain, but I would prefer to get these trolls rolling out. They're in front row, these goblins are gonna be in front row too. Okay, we're just gonna do that actually. We're gonna get this guy right there. Nope, that's not what I intended to click. This guy, and we're gonna call him Vishnu. Sounds like that's like a deity, isn't it? Maybe we don't give goblins like a deity name. Vishnu and Shiva or something like that. What is that? Not Buddhism, but Hinduism? I don't know. Either way, we're gonna call him Klovak. Just a play of the Norwegian word of sewer, which is cloak. Either way, we're just taking all the goblins with us. These narrow strips of land here, we'll see if anything comes by and we need to defend or strengthen our defenses a little bit. But yeah, we got 3 mountain giants, I was about to say. I mean, 3 giant ants up in the mountains, so we'll just bring the goblins for cannon fodder. That's whatever. Might make a leader survive. Because a leader is just a tiny little goblin, he's not even a caster, so like if he dies we have to send another freaking leader out there to go and be useful. That's an ancient forest guarded by boars there. Now, I think we take that. Just so it stops spawning more units in the area. It's not actually giving us any benefits other than we can recruit there, so. Which, I mean, could be good. We can maybe slap on another troll to a Troll King here or something. Let's check out a mountain battle. I'm a little bit excited to see how these trolls are doing. 94 he hit for, holy hell. Yeah, they seem to be doing pretty fine, I would say. Crushed our first opponents at least, and these boss are going to stand absolutely no chance whatsoever. Fantastic. Okay, we're going to move into this forest turn, and we're going to take this hamlet next turn. We got these. Ooh, hamlet. I want to take these slingers at first turn. Maybe if I took the hamlet, they would have attacked me, but I just want to take them as they don't roam off away from me, and I have to start chasing them at some point, which is just annoying. Better kill them while they're close so they don't get away. Basically, is the logic there. Do we want the hamlet the most or the iron mine? I mean, the iron income is not in need of any boosting at the moment. Oh, maybe one like a short, long peninsula and very safe in a starting position, actually. That would be nice, because then it's kind of easier to send out raiding parties. Gem deposit, guarded by 3 large spiders. And, ah, no, it's a jungle. Oh, I thought it was a forest. Wasted my turn a bit, though. That's entirely my bad. I should pay more attention. As I say, you make these minor mistakes, and maybe they add up to a big middle finger up your ass if you do it too much, but I mean, one minor mistake here, one minor mistake there, it's fine. So, message from home. Mum has decided her son cannot handle a war, and now she's come to take charge. Didn't realize we were in fact at war, and Mom, why are you doing this, Mom? Alright, now, this old troll here can sometimes have just really freaking annoyingly bad spells. Like, for instance, we'll have Curse, the AoE version of Curse, Disease and Plague, and then it's like, I've had this old troll have those moves, and basically, Curse, it makes people get battle afflictions more easily. It does no damage, just more easily get battle afflictions if hit after hit with Curse. And I say AoE version of Curse, so I had this regular one that does one single target and one that does more in a burst. Then I had Disease and Plague, so Disease and Plague makes people deceased, meaning that if you lose the battle, in the battle that you're fighting, it has zero freaking effect. Really, Curse and that stuff doesn't really have that much effect either, if that's the only thing you're doing and you're not attacking them in the same battle. So, she can be pretty useless, but the mom we got this time around, can we rename her actually? Yeah, we can. We're gonna rename her Myrtilda. Sometimes you get her and she just becomes the new faction leader. She's just like, kind of like, oh, what's the word for that? She's kind of slapping the dick a little bit of her son there. Don't take that the wrong way. It's like, you know, little, you know, stepping on his ego a bit kind of thing. And she comes over, she takes over, you want to rename her, but you can't because she's the new faction leader. So, this Troll King apparently has a stronger will to say no to mommy. So, she's not the faction leader. Meaning we can rename her. Either way, we're gonna go with Enchanted Sleep, because it affects in a burst of 25 tiles. It will only affect enemy units. And well, put people to sleep at a range of 10, which is good. Because if she just starts the battle off by sleeping a minor skirmishing force, and then she goes a bucket of frogs and pours out 200 frogs on them, they're gonna struggle a little bit against those numbers. And she's got summon frogs, which summon 1 to 3 frogs. And we don't even have to use Curse, she will only use 3 special memorized spells, so... Hey, I think we have a good Myrtilda here. Or a good Queen of the Trolls. I don't know if this always happens, but they seem to appear in Ancient Forest. It's like after you get the Ancient Forest, it takes a little while and then these seem to pop up. I'm not sure, I've seen them pop up in like a swamp as well, but generally in Ancient Forests I seem to have the most spawning of those Myrtildas going around. Or we could almost get this rock troll, and the rock troll is pretty great because it's expensive, so it's great, right? I don't know what to do though, like 1 to 21 damage, 2 armor, 8 strength. Right, and then these are 1 to 19, 2 armor, and 8 strength. Does 2 more damage, is that it? Oh, it has some resistances against piercing and slashing damage or something. Okay, well that's decent. Either way, I think we're going to call this first episode here. So far we've explored a lot, haven't run into any of the other players, which is good and bad, but in time we certainly will. Running into another player really early as a Troll King is just, it's good for the Troll King. Because there's a good chance you can just beat the living hell out of him and just take him out of the game pretty much immediately. Alright, if you can't take his army, maybe you can take his citadel, and if you can't take his citadel, maybe you can take his army, and then you can eliminate him from the game. Either way, I hope this was at least somewhat enjoyable to watch. We're gonna try to keep it up at this pace that we have been going for here. I will explain a few things, as I've said, as we move along, but I'm gonna just assume the people that have watched this have at least a basic understanding of what the game is about, so I won't go too much into details. There are other videos out there on YouTube for that, if that's what you want. So I'm trying to provide something a little bit different there. Either way, yeah, thanks for watching, and I'd appreciate it if you'd consider leaving a like on the video and maybe a subscription on my channel, if you liked the video and you would like to see more content in the future. Also, there's the comment field where you can tell me about every single little mistake that I made in this game, so feel free, go ahead. Maybe I can learn something. Either way, have a good one, and with that, I bid you farewell.